What is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here. Hopefully the noise from the fan isn't too bad. I'm still in the hotel room, as you guys see. Got about a month left in Texas before I go back to my wonderful, beautiful house and family out there in Pensacola, which I'm super fucking psyched about. But I'm also pretty pumped about today because I'm about to start a new controller build, which you guys know stimulates me, but it also it's just something I really enjoy. So I am going to be making a custom steampunk themed controller, PlayStation 4 controller, for my stepdad, who happens to be a very big steampunk fan, much like myself, and he's also a fan of Mad Moxie from Borderlands, so I'm going to implement that into the design of this controller. I've already ordered some materials and items so I can begin this build, and I am extremely excited. This is going to be a completely custom, one-off controller, one of a kind, and I'm super excited. I even have a dedicated display stand for it that goes along with that Steampunk theme, which you guys are about to see very shortly, so let's begin this build.
Whoa, Nelly!
So hopefully that fan noise in the background isn't too much. The fan is literally about 5 feet above the camera, so hopefully it's not
Too distracting for you guys, but it is pretty hot, and I'm trying to not really sweat from the nipples while I'm working on these controllers. So, as you see off in the distance here, I am still working on Project Gamer Girl, which is the Xbox One controller I'm working on for my daughter. Very excited. It's going to be based on her 3 favorite colors, with a little bit of pizzazz and spiciness to bedazzle it thrown in there. So, very nice. I'm also making a gaming headset and carrying case and t-shirt, all customized to match each other. So that's going to be a pretty sweet little build, a little love bundle, if you will. So I'm about to start the steampunk controller for my stepdad, though, and I'm extremely excited. So first off, I got this nice soft touch front shell from Expert Rating, and their quality is always great. I mean, I use them for 90% of my faceplates, unless I'm gonna have a friend 3D print one, or I'm gonna make one custom myself. Generally, I do order at least front faceplates or even complete shell kits from Expert Rating. So these are really nice, very soft material, and this wood theme is gonna go fantastic with that steampunk theme. So moving right along with the materials that I have for this build, I found these little metal cogs or gears from Walmart. I think they were about $3 or $4 for the kit, and these are just going to look absolutely fantastic. These are either going to be hot glued onto the controller, or I'm going to do some hard button press testing and whatnot, kind of torture tested to make sure that when he's gaming and maybe button mashing or something like that, these aren't going to fall off. If glue is not going to do the trick, then I'll do what is called plastic welding, which is when you take a soldering gun, basically put the tip in between the 2 pieces of plastic you're trying to meld together, get them to a liquid point, and then basically meld them together. So that is plastic welding. Hopefully I won't need to do that, but if I do, so be it. I definitely want to make sure that all the little gears on here aren't going to be wiggling around or anything. I want it to have very sturdy build quality. The zipper here, which again is going to go with that awesome steampunk theme. This is most likely going to go across the back, not really sure yet though. Also have some leather here because the grips are going to be completely wrapped in this leather. I had this cut a few feet at Walmart. The lady was very helpful. I looked through 3 or 4 different types of brown leather, told her exactly what I was doing with it, that I was doing an arts and craft project, and it would be on a small plastic game controller or whatever, and we looked through some different patterns and materials, and this is kind of what we landed on. Very soft. This is going to feel really good on his hands when he's gaming, and also it's going to keep his hands cool from sweating during those long gaming sessions. Not to mention, I mean, leather, gears, zipper, come on, steampunk. Also have a rivet gun here because there is going to be real rivets put into this shell here, and into the leather, and into a couple other places on the controller. So I mean, really going all out with the steampunk theme here. Plus, I kind of needed a rivet gun for future projects anyway, so it's kind of nice to have one. I believe this kit was like $4 at Walmart, and it comes with like different sizes of rivets and everything, which is a treat. Also from Walmart, I have this, you guys obviously can't feel the texture, but you can see the color. It's kind of a brown, rustic, worn, weathered look, and it has this really rough texture to it. That is going to go on the back shell, so he's not physically going to feel this while he's playing because leather is going to wrap everywhere where his hands are going to be touching, but he is going to see this material, which is kind of like, you know, if you touch it, it's a very, hopefully you guys can hear that over the fan, it's like a scratchy sandpaperish feel, which is very, it goes hand in hand with this theme. So, and then last but not least, I have some Lightbar stickers that cover up the Lightbar, much like many of my Xbox projects you guys have probably seen, where the Xbox button is covered with a sticker that's transparent, so when light illuminates through it, it kind of lights up the graphic or sticker. That is exactly what these do. So that is going to go over the Lightbar, and yeah, I think that's enough jaw smacking. Let's get knuckles deep in this project, shall we, boys? I think what I'm going to do to start this project off, stage one if you will, obviously going to disassemble this controller, which unlike Xbox controllers, which take T6 and T8 tools to disassemble them, a PlayStation controller uses a more traditional Phillips head design. So I have much less experience dealing with PS4 controllers, but I do know how to disassemble them, and this will be my first actual PS4 custom build, so I'm pretty excited. I've done several Xbox controllers, several PC controllers, several retro controllers like N64, NES, Sega Genesis, Atari even, but I haven't really done a custom PS4 controller yet, which is pretty absurd because it's something that I should be getting myself comfortable with if I'm going to be building these for people. So let's take this apart and let's get the front shell on and get the back shell a couple coats of paint. I don't think I'll have to sand it because the paint that I did get bonds to plastic, so I shouldn't need to sand it. But if it's not sticking for some reason, or it just looks kind of lumpy and runny, I do have a Dremel or electric multi-tool which I can sand down this back here to kind of scuff it up so the paint will stick to it. So let's get it. So this faceplate did come with a Phillips head screwdriver to take apart the shell, and a bunch of extra screws, which is really nice. Nice little touch. Also, this was packaged extremely well. They always are. They're packed in bubble wrap and then like a plastic case over that. So pretty nice for, you know, 14 to 16 bucks, which is what they usually run. Oops. Got my screws going everywhere. So I kind of got a lot going on as far as builds are concerned. I got Gamer Girl going on here. I got the Steampunk build. Then I also have two friends, one of which wants a Cyberpunk PS4 controller. The other one wants a Marvel-themed Xbox and matching PS4 controller and a custom RetroPie built for them with, you know, 12,000 games, full Cody build. So that's going to be like an all-day build. But hey, we do what we can for our friends, you know what I mean? Plus, they might be throwing me a couple bones, if you know what I mean. A couple shekels, a few buffalo nickels. I don't know. Gotta charge for the skill, you know? Alright, probably gonna do a little time lapse because you guys shouldn't have to sit here and watch me unscrew all these screws. Because you can screw yourself. So disassembly is pretty simple. You have 4 screws on the back, Phillips head type. Which is easier than an Xbox controller because with an Xbox controller, there's no exposed screws. You actually need to pop off the grips, which, I mean, I have several videos of me doing that, so if you have any concern of how to do that yourself, just watch some of my videos. Alright, got one of my pry bars here. I'm going to go ahead and crack the shell off. And not worry about damaging it too much because the front shell is getting completely replaced with that one, and then the back shell is also going to be getting pretty much sanded and refurbished anyway, so. But I mean, I don't want to like break this sucker. Ooh. So one very shitty thing about disassembling PS4 controllers versus Xbox controllers is each trigger has this little tiny asshole spring in each trigger, and when you're taking off the rear shell, you need to be extremely careful because these two little lips here kind of get caught up on the triggers, and very often time will pop off that little spring, and it is such a bitch to get back on, and I had the misfortune of popping off both of them. So yeah, so I have that to look forward to during the reassembly, but hey, you know, working on these controllers, you win some, you lose some. That was definitely a double L right there, but hey, tis what it is, boys. So moving on. I already got the battery out. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's right there. It stays in this little tray here. Again, I'm not going to go through the entire process of me disassembling this because, well, for one, I think that's kind of boring for you guys, and two, if you are interested in that, I already have a video titled PS4 controller disassembly in which I take apart one of these controllers. So if you want to see step-by-step how to do that to repair yours or something, check that video out.